Okay, so this video is going to be raw working footage of me doing an acid wash on a boat. So check this out. Okay, so step one is find the right boat to do, because we have definitely done the wrong boat before. So this is it right here, and you can see it's got the yellow tea staining and it's got organic matter growth on there. Now we are going to be able to take all this yellow tea staining off. These little anchored things, some of them will come off, some of them are going to leave little marks behind there. So this is just a maintenance clean, so we're going to get it 90-95% clean. If you want it absolutely perfect with all of these little anchor points on, you got to pay for a restoration job. But basically we just kind of do the process twice, but you'll see the results. It's going to look way better. We're going to brush on product all the way along the hull, give it some time to work, come around the back, and even all the stainless components as well we'll clean up. So sometimes I put it up, or I put the product in a pump up sprayer and I spray everything. This time I'm just going to put some product in a bucket. Today we're using One Restore by EcoChem. Gonna put it in a bucket here and just brush it on. So let's get started. So One Restore is a mild acidic detergent. So it's got acid in it with some surfactants in there to kind of help break down the stain and lift it up out of the surface of the material. And it works great. There are definitely other products you could use. This one's a bit more on the expensive side of things, but I like it because it works. I've used it down to -5 degrees Celsius. Still getting successful results. Everything just takes a lot longer and requires more product at colder temperatures. And step one is, I guess after finding your boat, is getting all your proper PPE on. One Restore is really not that bad, but I still don't want to get it on my skin or in my eyes or in my mouth or in a cut. None of those are fun days there. And because we're now in the springtime here, I guess I gotta refill my eye wash station. Anytime you're grabbing that bottle, it's also a bad day. Okay, so got my PPE on. And you want a good brush. So I've got these, right here is a great example. Nice 270 degree brush. And actually I'm gonna do the end here. So it doesn't take much product. If you can brush it, it's always a little bit more conservative than spraying it on, unless you get a really fine mist sprayer, which I do have as well, but I'm just gonna do it this way today. So you can tell it's a nice amber color. And we just dip our brush in here, knock it out, and brush it on. Now I am doing this while the boat is dry docked, which is good. I also do it over they have covered slips here at this marina, and I just protect it. This year I actually did it over top of the ice so I could stand on the ice when they have them up on the covered slips. But you basically just don't let this go directly into the water. At least this gives it a chance to break down before. Now you can see how quickly it works, right? This has only been about a minute or so. And now you can really see the organic growth. I forget what this is called, I looked that up once. But these kind of anchor on there. And what's gonna happen is the acid's gonna kill them. We're gonna pressure wash it, but it will leave these little tiny things where it needs a second application to get those off after this is pressure washed off. But I'm now just going to quickly brush it all on. This product is safe to, you don't want to let it dry if you don't have to, but if it does dry on the surface, no issues there because it has got buffering agents in it as well. You're not going to damage it like you would if you were using straight muriatic or something, which is a lot more old school and no longer necessary when you've got nice products like this. But see, we're almost there. You can see, yeah, does not take very long and does not take very much when you're brushing it on. So, what I'm gonna do is pause it here, set up the video, time lapse. You don't need to see me brush every square inch of this all the way down. And then we're gonna come back to here after, we're gonna pressure wash this off and you can see what it looks like, so. Okay, we're just about to go back on my head again. All right, I just want to show you. Now you can brush the motor as well. Just make sure we rinse everything really, really well. But I just want to show you here. So any stainless components, right? So you've got this little, whatever this thing's called, little flap at the back here. Just brush product on. And you can tell right away, the same way you could see it on the rest of the hull, starting to work. And then just kind of brush all the angles. Same with the scum line as well. Make sure you go high enough to get any of these petroleum films or whatever it is on the surface of the water off. And then with the props, I'm sure you can see this as well. Same idea. We're just gonna put product on, and it is going to get rid of any discoloration or anything in pretty quick order. Brush, 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 and we're now back to shiny compared to the gold color. So you just kind of you don't have to scrub. The acid is doing the work, so just keep that in mind. The acid's doing all the work. You just need to get the acid evenly on the surface, and it will do its job. And the best thing about this as well, any spots you missed, it's very obvious. You just go back and just kind of touch up any missed spots. But I'll brush this propeller here. And that's still the same amount that I poured in the bucket originally. I haven't added any yet. Probably gonna use, I think one of those bottles is like $32 or so. Can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up, but probably gonna use maybe about $15 to $25 worth of product, depending on how you apply it. You spray it, it's a lot more, say, wasteful. Yeah, it's a very thin amount that does all the work here. And just kind of get both sides. You're covered. You need some more. You need some more. And then brush this as well. And yeah, just make sure, rinse nicely. Pouring some more in my bucket. Actually, you know what? I'll show you a trick here. Just gonna rest that there. How's it looking? Yeah, lots of heavy organic growth. So I'll show you what I mean when the anchors kind of leave a little bit of the tea staining behind, but just take a little peek at the front. So you can kind of see before on this side, after, and that's just the organics on there. It's clean underneath. But here's a little tip for you. This is a 5-gallon pail. Pouring anything from a 5-gallon pail, especially when it's full, right? Your instinct is you want to take it and pour it like this in there. But when a pail is full, it's easier to go this way and have the spout at the top. It gives you more control to put just the right amount of product in the bucket that you want and not splash everywhere. So don't pour it like this. Boop, boop, boop. Pour it with the spout up at the top. There you go. A little tip for you. Yeah, you can see. It just needs a little touch up on some of those spots there. This one on this side is looking much nicer. So same thing, I'm gonna brush the other half of the boat now, and then we'll look at it. I'll show you what a missed spot looks like if I missed any spots, and then we'll pressure wash it off. Okay, so we are done brushing the boat. You can see here, it's just starting to dry. So it's a good time to start pressure washing it off. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pressure wash it all off. And we're gonna look for any spots that I might have missed brushing. Sort of see the results, what it looks like here. Right here is an example. So I need a bit more product on this section here. Right, so I'll rebrush this all the way down, actually this whole line. You just need enough acid. If this is all scale buildup, you need enough acid to get through all of the scale. So I just have a very light application. It might not do it, but I could pressure wash this whole thing and then touch it up with some more product and then rinse it off again. It's all very forgiving in terms of process. So let's do that. Then I'm gonna start up my pressure washer. I'm gonna use heat because I have a nice big hot pressure washer there. It'll just help me go a little bit faster. You can use cold water as well because the acid is doing all the work. Really, we're just knocking off these organic growths with the pressure washer. Anytime you can use heat, it will just go a little bit faster. And it really depends if you're a professional doing this for production or if you're just a boat owner yourself trying to get your boat looking nice. Just take your time and do a good job. All right, you ready for this? Now I'm going to use my big long gun here with a rotary tip. This is a 6 gallon a minute rotary tip. That with some heat should be good to go. What was this in here? 3 or 3.5? You know what? Watch this little trick. Trying to read. I'm gonna put this tip back. Don't know how many times I have random tips just laying around everywhere. So I'm just trying to do a little bit of housekeeping. 3-0. There we go. 3-0, perfect. Boom. All right. I don't need that bypass open. I'm not gonna bother explaining all of this part of it to you. Water's in. Basically get your pressure washer up and going. That second bypass of mine is going to, or unloader, second unloader is going to just keep my flow or my pressure around 1,000, 1,200 PSI. All right. Not enough. I do want that second one open or closed. Change my mind. I have the pressure cranked down too much on it. But here we go. Let's do this. So the big long gun, I can stand back here and get it. I can switch to a short gun if I need to. Sorry if it's gonna be on an angle for you. Sometimes you're in an awkward position here. And if you're doing this, just be very wary of your vinyl striping there. I'm hitting it a little bit harder than normal, but trying to keep a bit of a distance. Either way, even 1,000 PSI, you'll rip into this if you're not careful. Hi, Mr. Spider. Okay. Okay, do-do-do. Now, if you're doing this professionally, if you got two guys on site, you can get the other guy coming by and brushing any missed spots, right? See that there? Any missed spots while you're on the other side, and then you quickly come back and just do a final rinse. And like I mentioned before, it doesn't knock off all of the organic. So this is still really anchored on there. You can see a few of them where it did knock them off. Now what happens is this, I haven't validated this, but the acid, I'm thinking, kills the organics. Once this dries out, right, these will lose their strength. If you come by and do a second pressure wash on this, these fall off and leave all the little scale bits underneath where they were protecting it. Then you do another acid wash and you have a perfectly restored hull. So I tell customers, just keep in mind your scope of work. If they want it perfect, right, then they have to pay for it twice. That's pretty much the gist of it. Otherwise, just keep in mind just how dirty it was before. This is just a maintenance clean. It's going right back in the water, right? This organics is dead. So we leave it like this, and it's still way better than it was before. And a pressure wash down this side, a couple touch-up spots, and we should be done. I'm gonna try mounting it on the gun, actually. Maybe you can get a better view rather than upside down. Pretty sure I did all that in time warp. That's not what I wanted. All right. Okay. Let's go. Like so. You want to fight the instinct with the pressure washer, try and brute force this off. Just reapply acid, let that do the work. You're never going to be able to brute force the scale off. So if it needs a touch up, just hit it like you would normally, side to side all the way down. Don't try and spend extra time on any of this because it just needs some more product. I just see the back of this fin here I got to hit, in the back of there as well. Almost. Okay, so that's the first pass. Knocked over my bucket. This side, oh, you can see So you can clearly see where I forgot to brush it on this section right here. But yeah, I'm just gonna go around. I'll set up a time lapse. When I go around, do any touch-up spots like that. And then I'm gonna turn off my heat and I'm just gonna pressure wash it off one last time. It's still gonna have all this stuff on here, but this looks way better than that. So let's set up the time lapse and then we'll do one last walk around together when it's all done. Okay, we're almost done here. Just show you the last little bit. Looking nice and clean. We just had a little persistent scum line. We hit it 3 times. Just hit it one more time so we get that last little bit of buildup out of there. Just something for you to note. Second, third, any touch-up applications, you need a lot less acid because you got a lot less organics and stuff on the surface using up your acid. So even just these little drips, right? They still got a lot of cleaning potential in them. I'm gonna brush this scum line one last time, rinse off everything, and this boat is done. Now, if I am going production-wise, try and do these, it takes, yeah, maybe about 30-40 minutes just by myself. Brush it, spray it off, pressure wash it, brush it again, and you're good to go. So we'll do that now. And something about a nice brush like this, I still have a lot of product in here, so just brush on this last application. This was really bad. I don't know why. Sometimes one side of the boat is worse than the other side, just depending on where it sits in the marina. Okay. Put this down. Well, you can see I have a different gun here. This is my bendy gun, so I can bend it around corners and stuff if I don't have to fight. Sometimes the boats are spaced apart big enough, I can get the long gun in nice and easy. This one, it's if I don't have to fight it, I don't want to Okay, so we'll start the boat. Ow! Watch out for boats when you're doing this. Okay, we'll start the walk around back here. We have a prop that looks brand new. Same with the flaps. And then unfortunately, this is what I'm talking about. All the organic matter doesn't come off. This will die. You can pressure wash it off. It leaves these little anchor spots. If I brushed product on here, any of these light spots would come up, right? So always keeping in mind scope of work. If you're a homeowner or if you're a boat owner doing this, you're gonna have to do it twice. So I would do this, let this dry out and die, and then put all the acid on again, keeping in mind you need a fraction of the original amount of acid that you used. Sorry, pressure wash it first. So let these die and dry out, pressure wash them off, they should knock off, and then all these little spots underneath them where the scale is still there, you can use the acid and clean that up. So motor's looking good, Walking around, looking under on this side. Looks good. Looking under on that side. Looks good. Now in terms of pricing, now I charge the marina, I think about $12.50, 13, I can't remember exactly, dollars a linear foot. So this is, say this is a 34-foot boat, be 34 times 13. And then we have the, if you want the motors done as an add-on for I think 60 bucks or so, if you want your motor to look like new again, depending on how many you have. But yes, you can do this on fiberglass. You can't do this if you have an anti-fouling coating because it strips, it releases that anti-fouling coating, which can no longer do its job. Although you would want to brush some acid above on any scum lines above the anti-foul coating. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now the only thing left for me to do is I take the rest of the product, I neutralize it, I'll put it into a grassy area, and then I move on to the next boat. Yeah, it's nice. This kind of work works out really well for me because when they start pulling out the boats at the end of the year, that's when my normal pressure washing work slows down. So I just come here, I do 5-6 boats in a day and come back, and this marina itself sends me about 60-70 boats, either hot pressure washing, cold pressure washing, or doing the acid washes. So thanks for coming along. Actually, I'll wrap it up at my side view mirror here. To the side view mirror again. All right, well, thanks for coming along. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions or anything like that, just write out a comment. I'll take a look and get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, you have a great day. Cheers.